If you were a tennis player, who would you want to be like?
Well, I like other people to be like me.
It was very difficult being in the shadow of Venus, because ever since I can remember, Venus was always in the newspapers and always, in the press. I was never supposed to be good. I was never the one that was supposed to be like a great player, but I was determined not to become a statistic. So that's the only reason I play tennis. In 1984 in Compton is where I began my journey of becoming a tennis player on beaten down courts with my family by my side. My first goal, as Zena said, was to win the US Open. Now, what you don't know, my first goal was to win Wimbledon, but what you don't know is I said I wanted to win Wimbledon because Venus said she wanted to win Wimbledon, and then my dad yelled at me. He's like, "Serena, stop copying Venus," because I copied her way too much. And so I said, okay, I want to win the US Open. And so that's how that kind of came about. I had a goal to begin to work, and I began to work towards that goal. And I believe that one day I would stand on that court and hold that winner's trophy. And now I guess 30 years later, I still have goals and I still have dreams of winning. I'm a very hard worker.
Oh, that's what I heard about you.
A lot of people say, oh, she's talented, she's athletic. No, actually I wasn't. I was really small for my age. I grew up when I got older. And I had to work really hard. And I think that's one of the reasons why I fight so hard and I work so hard, is because I was really, really, really small. When I'm playing against Venus, I have to bring my A game. I can't show up and bring a B minus, a B plus. It's a toss-up. I mean, I can't sit here and say that Venus is better than me. I have to believe in myself and I have to have confidence. And so I have to say that my A plus game is better than hers. How I am, I'm very passionate in what I do off the court. And it kind of leads on to what I do on the court. I like to give everything 100%. And if I don't, then I feel like I can be the best at whatever I do. And if I'm able to give it, a full 100%.
Who was the I want to be like that for you?
Well, it's interesting, and I'm glad you brought that up. For me, when I grew up, I always wanted to be the best. And I said, if you want to be the best, got to emulate the best. So when I started to go on tour when I was really young, I would see Steffi Graf, I would see Monica Seles, and I would even see Pete Sampras, and I would see what they did. And I noticed that Steffi and Monica didn't really talk to a lot of the other players, and they kind of were on their own, and they were just so focused. And I would see that Pete Sampras, the technique that he did, and I was like, I want to do that. So I did that, and I felt like to be the best, and if you want to be the best, you have to hang around people and you have to look at people that are the best, because you're not going to be the best if you're looking at someone that's not at the top levels. It takes a lot of mental strength. I mean, like when I'm in a Grand Slam, I'm on a whole different level than what I am in a normal tournament. I pretty much live in my hotel room. I study. I think. I spend as much time to myself as I can. I'm a recluse. You don't really hear from me. I'm just there the whole time for 2 weeks. And that's the way I win Grand Slams. I think everyone does it different. But most ones that I've won, I've done it that way. And it makes me focus. I feel like winning for me is super addictive. I feel like once you experience it, you always want to get that feeling again. And when I won my first championship, I was only 17 years old, but I never forgot that feeling. And I feel like every time I win one, I want to reach that feeling of your first championship. There's really no feeling in the world like that.
It?
Yeah, and it's like all these years of training and being a little kid and playing, and then winning is just a wonderful experience. So for me, I've always felt like I love that feeling, and obviously I don't like the feeling of losing. I feel like...
No, in fact, people close to you say you're a very bad loser.
I'm not the best loser. I hate to lose, but I think losing has brought me to here today. It's the only reason I am who I am, is because of my losses. And some of them are extremely painful, but I wouldn't take any of them away, because every time I lose, it takes a really long time for me to lose again because I learned so much from it. And I think I encourage like everyone that I talk to, I'm like, listen, if you lose or if something happens, not in sports, in business or in school, learn from it. Don't live in the past, live in the present, and don't make the same mistakes in the future. And that's something that I always try to live by.
I have to tell each and every one of you that it doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, your age, you can achieve anything that you set your mind to. And I always say, if I can do it, anyone can do it. And the reason that I always say that is because I didn't grow up with things being handed to me. I had to work hard, I had to dedicate myself, and I had to be determined, and I was. Even outside of sport, it could be education, it could be business, it could be anything. It requires discipline and hard work and determination. Most importantly, it requires self-belief because, like me, some people might not believe in you, but you have to believe in you. And sometimes you're going to be your own cheerleader, and you have to be your biggest and your best cheerleader. So to all you young athletes, take that to heart and never stop believing it. And I've had people look down on me. I've had people put me down because I didn't look like them. I look stronger. I've had people look past me because of the color of my skin. I've had people overlook me because I was a woman. I had critics say I will never win another Grand Slam when I was only at number 7, and now here I stand today with 21 Grand Slam titles, and I'm still going.